All right, Grand Rising, everyone. It's Shay Seeking, and we're back. Um, Again, yesterday we were in, which one was it? Jerusalem and the Crusades, right? And these are just some really old books that I have that I've had sitting around. And I don't know why. I usually keep these two together wherever they are on the shelf. So we read a portion of that book. Again, the reason why I share these books is, again, in case you guys uh, can take them and get a little bit of deeper insight, then you can also purchase these books on your own so you can read it, as you wish. And I think I don't think that these books are, well, some places have them for like $50, but I think I've run across them for like under $10. But I think that these are very prominent. They really help with remembering and seeing. And, you know, so I think I want to go ahead for the remainder of this day, possibly tomorrow, and read this chapter 10 here. And this chapter 10 is going to be in a short history of the Hebrews. And this book is from 1915. So I can only imagine that the one other book from yesterday, they look somewhat similar. So I can only imagine that they will be like from around the same time, because I just thought it was strange that the other one doesn't have a date in it. That's like the first book I've run across that doesn't have a date. Um, so again, we're gonna go ahead and start, and I hope it doesn't take that long. Oh, will it? Okay, I didn't know. I don't know, but I don't know. I think that there's just like stuff in here that I really need to go through. Um, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I wasn't planning on going that far into the book, but something is telling me that this should be a series. I don't know. Something is telling me that this should definitely be a series. And so that's just what we're probably gonna do then. Yeah. They have a map in here where I'm seeing, the captivity of Judah, the Western Asia, to illustrate. And again, maybe this video, I'm going to use this image, that you see here. I just usually pick something that correlates with it just a little bit. But yeah, maybe I'll put this map up here on the next one. But we're gonna go ahead and start. And I really picked up in the middle of the chapter, but I'm like, you know what? Let's go ahead and just read this, because something about this is making me think. Yeah, we have 520 in here, so maybe we're talking 1520. Something has something to do with like 100 year or something here. So let's just go ahead. Let's start. Um, okay. Let's see. I just think the best thing, I have a lot of stuff circled in here, so we're just gonna go ahead and read the chapter. Oh well, we do it for the Bible, so I think this is very okay. So yeah, so this is chapter 10, and it's the exile and restoration. So again, I feel like we were or are at a moment of exile, restoration, or a form of exodus, or something where something is being reformed. And again, if we're not aware of what actually is going on behind the scenes, we're just seeing what the covering is, then we can't really tap into what's going on. And there will be a prominent few, some that are in their rightful places and some are not in their rightful places, that will end up following what they're saying we should do and conforming to that. And we may find ourselves in a pleasant time, and we may find ourselves in a time of a desperate times. So again, I just want to go ahead and read through this, because this is our story, and that's just bottom line. And I think by people's works, or spirit, or how we treat each other, is very telling as to who's who. Beside looking at, yes, skin tone and skin color and stuff like that, it's really right now, like I said, it's about a mindset. It's about the heart. It's about the, again, works. And for me, works don't always have to necessarily mean that you're physically out there doing something, for monetary gain or whatever. Works has to do with, it's just a certain way, right? A way of living, a way of seeing the world, a way. For some of us, we're you know how like even in the biblical they have priests, they have, you know, people that have different tasks. And again, some of us are just vessels of information. You know, we can interpret things. Some people are can see. Some people are prophetic. You know, so again, just all these tools and stuff that are basically really already within us that we're going to be using to navigate. I mean, that some of us use again to navigate. And I think that this is the thing that I look to people. I look to connect with people, and I think that's another reason why I do these videos with people that are seeing things on a different scale. You know, because we may be either oppressing ourselves or being oppressed by others into a way of thinking that has us not seeing the beauty and the strength in some of the things that we do, okay? Especially when it's not what society wants to display. They would rather display things that don't have a real form of substance behind them, more shallow, and that again, in this worldly realm, it might come off as profitable. But again, when it comes to searching yourself in the soul and seeking whoever your particular God would be, it's not fulfilling. So again, for me, that's more fulfilling to me. I just happen to be like, or have been in a situation where I'm able to do that. And, you know, I'm thankful for that. Like, I'm not going to sit here and look at my lifestyle and be feeling bad or upset about it, because I feel like every step that I used to didn't feel this now. But I do feel like everything and every step of the way is kind of doctored by Source, and what he sees what he or they, the Elohim, see as potential in you. And then it also has to do with you meeting up with that form of yourself, even that higher self, and even dwelling in that lower self to do the work that's going to lead you to ascension or rising. So I don't know, waking, rising, whatever you want to call it. So again, it's just a whole lot of things but I think that we tend to look at, again, and it's hard for me to grasp anything. It's hard for me to grasp things that are not tangible, that I cannot at least sense or feel, right? But again, I do know that all these materialistic things don't really mean a thing. That if it all boils down to it, it's just gonna be me. You know what I'm saying? I can't depend on anybody to be there, not even for a listening ear. You know, not even for a listening ear, or even it's hard to be in a world where you feel like you're not understood. You know, it feels like you're. mm. Ooh, we won't go there because that's just too much information. But it's just, I don't know. I just feel like it's hard to be in a world where, we'll just say, where you feel like you're stuck in the middle, where you've come so far on your journey that you can't really feel comfortable looking back and staying back. But then you're at a point where, you know that what's waiting for you on the other side could be something that is, I guess it's going to be detrimental to you, but is it going to be that way in there's like no way to go but up. But when you get there, you know what I'm saying? What is it going to be, right? Like, and again, I try to think positive all the time, but it's just like, there's resistance in the lower realm, okay? Or on the surface, and then there's resistance from above. So it's, again, you feel like for somebody like me, I feel like a vessel that's like floating or levitating and like stuck in between, like a heaven and earth type of thing, you know? Yeah. Because I feel like my heart is with earth. I mean, it's like on the surface with the, soil. And then it's like my mind is trapped or stuck, or my mind is in the heavens, in a sense. So, and it's like I have to serve, both of those dimensions or whatever equally. And it's hard. It's hard sometimes. But again, I wouldn't change it, I guess, because again, I'm finding out that there's something very fulfilling Okay. But there's, at times when it comes to this type of way of seeing things. Okay, so again, enough about me. I just want to go ahead and get into the writings, but again, it's just hard. So again, and then just imagine it's going to be hard to even find other people that are in that same wavelength. So it's even harder to connect. I feel sometimes. So again, that's just what it is. Okay. So it says the exile and the restoration at the time when the Hebrews of Judah were carried captive, Babylon had already become, all right, uh, through the exhortation of Nebuchadnezzar, the most imposing and magnificent city of the East. Okay. Let's see. I don't know why I put that. Huh. It's famous ziggurat, ziggurat. I don't know why I put niggerat. Maybe I looked up something. I mean, these books are just written all up and through with notes and stuff like that. So again, and it's throughout time or whatever. So the storied temple of Marduk or Bel, its spacious streets and enormous fortifications, mountain high, its places, mansions, and terrace gardens had made it the wonder of the world. Now, again, I feel like, in a sense, that yes, we're talking about a certain place when we're talking about these, when we're talking about the most magnificent city. But again, city always leads me to citizen. And, looking up the word in etymology, it always seems like there's more to it. There's always seems like there's always a physical and then a mental or another type of way of looking at this. So even when I'm reading all this and the fortifications and stuff like that, I'm still thinking about a mindset or ascension or a way of seeing or, these different gifts being utilized that we carry. I'm still looking at it so much so that I really just feel like that. Okay. Okay, so again, it made it a wonder of the world. So again, the way that some of us are operating can also seem like that in this day and age. It can also be dismissed by a lot of people if they're not able to comprehend or understand what you're seeing or what you're saying, right? Which leads to a lot of great people that have come and will come to be mishandled, used, abused, cast away, killed or culled. It's just like that. So maybe that's why I speak so much about those who we may not have paid more attention to their stories or seen the whole full scale of things, because then it's easier for people not to care